Hi guys, welcome to the morning after. It truly is morning right now. It is 6:40 a.m. on Tuesday. I am catching a 9:20 a.m. flight, so I thought it would be smarter to do it actually in the morning for once. And so, hello, thank you for tuning in, and we are recapping today episode 4 of The Bachelor. So I'm going to start off with my Maltesers hashtag light goal. You guys know by now that a light goal is a attainable, sort of lighthearted version of a life goal, hashtag life goal. And so I put a lot of thought into my light goal this week, and I decided it was when, in the sort of hot tub thing post hiking or survivaling, Caroline put her arm around Tia and said, "We're just like you guys," to Ari after he had put his arm around Crystal. I thought this was hilarious, and it really poked fun at the fact that they're all dating the same guy. I thought it was excellent, and I did think Crystal overreacted to this later and sort of played the victim and made it about her. And it was more of a tease on Ari than on Crystal, I thought. Anyway, I thought it should have been pointed out because I thought what he was doing, it's awkward enough as it is. They're all dating the same guy. So, and him, expressing any kind of preference for one woman over the others, I just love that she not only pointed it out, but poked fun at it. It was excellent. An excellent light goal. Well done, Caroline. Okay, so I've had a lot of people commenting on my blog and on Twitter that there's something vintage feeling about this season, and I have to agree. It feels kind of like an old school season. I'm not really sure why, if it's because of Ari, or I don't know. I really buy that the women are into him. I don't know what it is, but it does feel kind of old school in a really good way, in a way that I like. And there's two notable things that I really like about Ari so far. I love that he hasn't succumbed thus far to saying that, wherever they are is the perfect place to fall in love. So they're in Tahoe, and he says, "I think whenever you travel and experience new things, it just helps to strengthen a bond. And it could help fall in love." That was his quote. I thought that was great. That he was tiptoeing around saying, "Oh, Tahoe's the perfect place to fall in love." And what else? Oh, he also said that, this was later in his one-on-one with Becca M, but I love that he said this. He said that he admitted that he has a tendency to lead with chemistry, and I just love that he was able to admit that and clearly had reflected and just showed some awareness about it, which a lot of people, especially people who lead with chemistry, don't necessarily think about. So, and they kind of fall into a pattern, they do the same thing over and over again, so I just love that he's aware of it, at least. Okay, so Cian gets a one-on-one. And I love how in her ITM she expresses nerves, which is totally natural, but this is my favorite thing. She said, "I have confidence in myself and in who I am as a person." And I just love this sentiment, because usually when a woman goes into a one-on-one, it's I have confidence in our connection, it's all about the connection with the guy, instead of oh, well, if I don't make it, I'm gonna be okay, I have confidence in me. I just love that the way she worded that. And then even after, she's a bit like Ari, she fended off using the L word in an ITM afterwards. She said, "I can't use the L word yet. I can't use, sorry, it's early. I can't use the L word yet, but I really like him." I just thought that was really cute. And God, she's so well spoken. And as unfortunate as it is that she didn't have any kind of role model love story to look up to, I just think that she's kind of inspiring. She's such a badass. She's super impressive, so intelligent and just classy, and I love that that's not lost on him. And I just think that a lot of girls could watch her and look up to her. And I don't often say that contestants on The Bachelor should be role models, but I mean she's doing pretty well. Okay, so then there's a group date, the survival group date. I thought this was hilarious. I thought the pee segment was really, really funny. I caught myself grinning ear to ear during that. So in the evening, the one-on-one time with Lauren B. This caught me a bit off guard, I'm not gonna lie. I feel we didn't see any of her for the first 2 episodes, and then last episode we saw him and the two of them like making out on the bed that Bibiana had set up. But other than that, Lauren B's been kind of a dark horse, and he's clearly into her, and he basically promised her a one-on-one, and they, you know, they have great chemistry. He did say he led with that, and suddenly, you know, she's getting airtime to sort of coincide with said chemistry. I still have a hard time believing she's going to make it to the very end just based on her airtime in the first 2 episodes, but I really like her. I gotta say, I really like Lauren B. She seems normal, and I like that when their time together on this date could have turned into just like a makeout sesh, she kind of like fended him off and was like, so, like, what are you looking for in a woman? I just like that she sort of turned it into a conversation. So, I liked her a lot. Yeah. Also, on this group date, we didn't see one-on-one time between either Becca K and Ari or Chelsea and Ari. So Chelsea, I mean, it's not that I really thought Chelsea was going to make it to the end, but she definitely was one of my top 4. And Becca K, I had her first for the last 2 weeks in a row, and she didn't have any one-on-one time, which is not a great sign. I was kind of shocked. So I have to rearrange a few things in my top 4. So Becca M, aka 22-year-old Becca, gets her one-on-one. And, okay, this is for you Canadians, okay? So the Canadians who watch Bachelor Canada, because there are a lot of parallels. First of all, this isn't even a parallel about the age thing. This is about Crystal's ITM going into Becca's one-on-one. And Crystal, in her ITM, you know, sums up the girls not liking her to them seeing her as flawless. She used the word flawless. We saw the word flawless come out of her mouth. This reminds me of Shanti from Bachelor Canada, for those of you who watched it. That sort of, that textbook narcissist factor. And don't get me wrong, in my Flair recap, I talk about Crystal ad nauseum. I don't like, it's not a hate piece. It's just, it's a lot of observations. But I just think that the fact that she, you know, her knee-jerk reaction is to think, oh, they don't like me, it's because they're jealous, is very Shanti from Bachelor Canada. It's not, she's not being introspective or taking responsibility for maybe rubbing people the wrong way or saying things wrong or just a million things that could make people not like you other than jealousy. Okay, so moving on. Becca M. I think the comfort between her and Ari is crazy, especially the age difference. And again, I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. 14 years is totally doable, but just not at this age. I think that she is super mature for 22. There's no question. And maybe every woman in her family has gotten married really young. I'm not shitting on that. I just don't see it. I think Becca M is like so dynamic and like curious. I feel like she probably wants to travel and like date every kind of guy and like just sort of, she seems like a curious, wide-eyed, like wants to get a taste of everything in this life, and I just don't see that person settling down at 22. I felt similarly about Lindsay, again, in Bachelor Canada. A lot of parallels. We knew the age thing was going to be a big point of this season, and I was like, ugh. What's funny is that was a 10-year difference, and now a 10-year difference, like on the American show, is like totally standard, and on the Canadian show, it's like, now you need 14 years for people to get vocal about it. I mean, again, Andy, my husband, is 13 years older than me. I have no issue with the age difference. It's more that I know I certainly would never have been ready at 22. I don't know many people who would have been. Especially the kind of person who's like curious enough and adventurous enough to go on The Bachelor, if that makes sense. Okay, so Ari expresses his fear about Becca, and I thought this was really eloquent how he did this. And he made a sort of, you know, an example about how he likes to wake up with the sun now and how he didn't want to do that 5 years ago. And he said, I feel like I've become a little bit more boring, but only because I like different things. I thought that this was really lovely. Instead of just like, oh, I'm getting old, he's like, no, it's not. I'm not a loser. I just like have different interests than I did. And I just think he's nice, and he's very not arrogant to me. And anyway, he's a bit of a dork. I said this in my Flair recap, and in a good way. Okay, so rose ceremony. We have another this is tradition. Every season now there's a non-cocktail party roast ceremony, and every season Chris Harrison walks in, he's like, well, girls, I guess I'm not the guy you were expecting or hoping to see. It's like, Ari has decided not to have a cocktail party this roast ceremony, and all the girls are like, and it's like, I swear it's exactly the same every single season, so I just thought that was funny. I wasn't super surprised to see Brittany go home based on airtime, but I was actually based on Caroline's airtime this episode. She was, you know, sort of a prominent character. I thought maybe she'd sort of be a dark horse. We saw a lot of their chemistry last week, or maybe I was wrong, there wasn't chemistry, but they definitely made out last week. So, yeah, I was sad to see both of them go. They were both very funny. I have a couple questions. The first is from @DaphneDean. I feel like Ari is rightly impressed by Cien, but not hot for her. What's your take? I don't feel I have an opinion fully one way or the other. I agree it's not as like hot and heavy, like super chemistry the way it is with some other girls, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, especially since, again, he recognizes in himself that he leads with chemistry, so I can see him, you know, giving slower to move chemistry relationships a chance. I feel so like I can't speak this morning, by the way. It's just like really early for me, so I'm sorry if I'm just like stumbling over my words. From @JenMG, can we really believe Ari is serious about finding a wife when he kept Becca M around? I was really torn on this because what I liked about this is that you could see the turmoil. Like, you could almost see him realizing that he was making a mistake. And that's not to say, like, I want Becca M to stay around. I think she's great TV. I really like her. She's stunning. She's got a great commentary. But I mean, I agree. Like, it's very unlikely that they're going to end up together. That said, I just, you know, how in that situation could you not keep every door open for as long as you can, like, to make absolutely sure? I do feel like he's taking it super seriously, which is why he was as like distraught by her age as he was. But I think if any of us were in his shoes and we were as attracted to her and sort of intrigued by her as he is, I think we would keep her too. So I don't know if we can bash him for that. @Omo asks, why can't Ari just tell Crystal she can't steal him away for a moment? I don't feel qualified to answer this because I was never lead, but I do have a suspicion that they are encouraged to just sort of let themselves be stolen. I should ask. I've never asked any of my former lead friends about this, and I should ask about this because it's uncanny, like, how they always say yes. Someone interrupts and they're always like, yeah, sure. It's like, you don't have to say yes. So again, I don't know, but I suspect that it's encouraged that they just let it happen, like, sort of, you know, because it is such a drama stir. Okay. That's it for episode 4. Don't forget that the Maltesers # Rose Gold Challenge, oh my god, it's so early, Rose Goals Challenge is up at flare.com/themorningafter. So if you go there and enter your predictions, you have a chance to win prizes as well as a trip to Toronto. So be sure to do that. That's the Maltesers Rose Goals Challenge at flare.com/themorningafter. And thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to check out my Flare recap and my Pretty Pandas recap later on, and I'll see you guys here next week at hopefully a more godly hour on The Morning After. Okay, bye.